crucifix. While it has been a time-honored symbol of our faith, Holy Mother Church has decided to retire this highly recognizable yet wholly depressing image of our Lord crucified. Christ didn't come to earth to give us the willies. He came to help us out. So it is with great pleasure that I present you with the first of many revamps the Catholicism Wow campaign will unveil over the next year. I give you the Buddy Christ.
Self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to.
Wow. Okay, I know what you mean now.
Yeah.
Wow, this goes back all the way to 2002.
Yeah. Clown cross.
Some of you may be wondering what
People walking out.
To be honest, and I'm sorry if this is YouTube land, but I would have also.
I would, yeah.
Wow. Why? I don't understand this. This is actually making me a little upset.
This is making me angry. Yeah, right. With the, they can't even use the Luke Skywalker saying.
Right, they can't even use the green positive. Right, they got to use the dark devils. I agree. I totally agree. Why are they using Satan's Darth Maul red lightsaber?
Those are Kylo Ren sabers. Do not besmirch the good name of Darth Maul.
Stand corrected.
See, like this outside the church, I can almost get because that's how kids were. As soon as church was over, they want to play outside. Okay.
Sure. Uh-huh.
The second you bring this inside and make it part of the mass, they are literally showing a movie?
Why? What? Okay, that's my question here. What is behind in terms of the motivation of a Star Wars mass? Do they think like that particular parish was just like, what can we do this Sunday to get more family? If it's innocent enough to where it's just like, we're going to resort to parlor tricks, which I don't agree with, but okay, if they're just trying to get parlor tricks to get more attendance at mass, maybe. And as long as they're not changing the mass.
Yeah.
But if they're just doing that in part of just the all more inclusive church umbrella.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would imagine this is like a special mass event or whatever, something that they do. I'm sure like the next Sunday they didn't have a Star Wars mass. Maybe they had something more along the lines of but whatever. But yeah, man. And this is more common. Again, it's like it almost feels like Google scrubbing it, but maybe I'm just not looking good enough. But there's tons of examples of weird shit like this. So, like, remember, I even off camera or whatnot, we were talking about, there's no ukuleles at the mass, right?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's a thing, man. Like, it's weird. They had a church. Let me see. I'm gonna look this up here. Insane Clown Posse? No, not them.
What? Insane Clown Posse mass.
Insane Clown Posse mass. That's the only clown mass I would attend, by the way, if it was ICP.
That's funny.
The only clown mass I would attend is the gathering of the Juggalos, and then other than that, no. You catch me.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So, but yeah, even then, now you'd have to twist my arm to go to the gathering. Any big gathering or fest, I guess, especially after what happened at Burning Man.
Yeah, Burning Man. Was that God raining down on the heathens? Or was that just random weather?
Yeah.
cloud seeding like they did in Woodstock. Big Brother cloud seeding the festival.
Oh, yeah. And it didn't change anything. They just partied anyway. No, probably. I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you what. Especially after the one that was most recent that I can remember there was like a George Floyd mural.
Oh,
right?
yes. I heard about that. Right.
And it was struck by lightning when there was no storm.
Yes.
It was like his soul cloud, like you see in the cartoons. And it just boom struck it, and only his face got taken out because they put like a crown on him, and it was like, I guess like it almost sort of, this was the height of the Saint Floyd memery that was going on.
Yes, I definitely remember that.
But yeah, so that happens when shit like that happens. It's like, yeah, you can't be. There's a line where you're being superstitious, and then there's just what's in your face. Like, what more do you need? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I definitely understand. Yeah, it makes me think. That's for sure. So this was kind of new to me, hearing about the clown masses for sure, since privately we were just talking about some churches in my neighborhood before we started the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely eye-opening to me. I've heard of some wacky masses, but the Star Wars one, the clown one, really takes the cake.
Yeah. This is
because that's more above and beyond. Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to say, because that's more than just trying to be accepting of all peoples, you know what I mean? This is almost like, let's embrace cosplay and furry in the church. This is now beyond just being like, oh, the old tropes, like see, I'm trying to tiptoe here because I don't want to offend anybody, so you might want to end this out because I want to say this.
No. I'll do the thinking. I'll do the speaking for you on this one. For me,
okay,
you tell me what you think. It's called blasphemy. It's a very simple word. This is my opinion. But this is 100% grade A blasphemy. This has got to be the wackiest podcast we've done so far, man.
Well, yeah, definitely. You know why? Because anybody who's not watching or is just watching, you and I were talking separately before this, so this is just overlapping into the show. But yeah, we can keep the headlines flowing, see what else is there. So is Obama.
We'll leave Obama alone this week. We could talk about. You know what? I meant to talk to you about this. We haven't discussed this. This is almost a hate watch, but we didn't do it. John Wick 4.
John Wick 4. Yes, you said
you watched it.
I watched
did
it.
Not like it. All right, I just watched it. I did not like it. I was kind of disappointed, and then I kind of by the end of it, I was just like, what am I watching? What am I doing with my life? This is why I'm watching shit. And it's and I've seen movies with talking raccoons. You know what I mean? This one, I'm like, all right, this is just going all over the place. So, I liked one, and I think it's just been diminishing returns after one.
Yeah, same here. I think we touched on this in the past too. That was a big franchise. Even in the middle of one, I was like, oh, this is stupid. And I lied to myself a little bit too, because one started out so good and there was so much hype about the movie and all the action was so accurate, you know what I mean, and done well, that I wanted to like it. But then it just completely loses me once they're in the fucking concierge hotel, and it's a secret hotel of fucking super world secret assassins. You with me on this one? You agree?
1,000,000%. Yeah, even with part one, because the first thought when they're at this hotel, I'm like, okay, they're gonna either make a show about the fucking hotel, so they can tie it into this fucking movie, or they're gonna make another movie from another assassin that also visits that hotel, and they'll meet the fucking dude from The Wire, and know what I mean?
James Bond drinks martinis there once a year.
I think from there it was downhill. The stronger story if it's just him, and that's it. No, you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
maybe he has his John Leguizamo car dude help him, and that's it. You know what I mean? And he was.
If it's him, Yep, you're right. And if it was just John Wick versus the mafia, Russian mafia, that alone is all you needed.
Yeah.
All you needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they completely lost to the point where I was like, oh, this went from a movie that I was interested in seeing, started off really good, and they just fucking tanked. And I can't. That's why 2 fucking kind of sucked. 3 definitely sucked. And yeah, 4 was like kind of like the worst of them all. They just got worse and worse. That because I don't like that premise. Because then even in 2 or 3, by the time he's like in the Sahara Desert, meeting with like some
cutting his
underground
finger off.
assassin leader guy, yeah. I was like, just write James Bond stuff. Just write James Wick.
No, yeah, that's why, again, this kind of is like why I don't give a shit about the writer's strike. It's like, good. Let's put a pause on making movies and just appreciate the catalog we already have.
Yeah, especially now. Yeah.
I said this joking around last week. There's 7 original ideas left that have yet to be discovered. You know what I mean?
Pretty much. Yeah.
So until we can tap into those one at a time, we're just gonna grind out the same shit over and over again and just make different variations of the same shit. And I was okay with that. I knew that back then.
Not me. Because that's been going on already for the past 15 years hard. I'll even say longer, but really the last 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when you have a movie like Armageddon and Deep Impact coming out 5 months within each other, same fucking movie.
Yeah.
But I like both movies.
Right, it's like 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like both movies. I mean, at least they both brought something different to the table. They were both entertaining.
They were entertaining. Yeah.
Entertaining. You know what I mean? And,
Deep Impact, especially, which is the one with Bruce Willis.
Armageddon.
Armageddon was the more entertaining one.
With the animal crackers on Liv Tyler's tummy.
Yeah.
And I love both movies. Yeah, one's like really schlocky, Armageddon, but fucking love it. And Deep Impact was a little more
serious in its tone.
More serious in its tone. But again, by now it's like they're still making variations of Armageddon and Deep Impact like 20 years later, whatever. It's like the same shit. How many times we're going to see Independence Day? And again, this is what's going on with the superhero shit. Like, again, like this is, if you like, I've been following, the development of superhero movies and I follow their box office slightly, not like to the extreme as like a WDW Pro or like Valiant Renegade, shout out to those people, but they really go in deep with the numbers and they know what means what, but so I defer to their expertise. But when they start announcing these movies, like I remember when they rebooted Spider-Man for the 3rd time, actually technically the 4th time, because there was that 70s movie that came out, right? Or like early 80s movie. But when they were rebooting Spider-Man again, they were like, don't worry, it's not going to be an origin story. It's like, yeah, right? They had to get there because, we're going to get to see friggin' Uncle Ben get shot again and die in front of us for the 1,000th time.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be as good as the first time in the Sam Raimi version. That was the best way it was done. And again, like Bruce Wayne, how many times are we going to watch his parents get killed in the alley? And then we get to see the pearls get ripped off her. Everyone, they show that shit. The pearls got to come off the thing because it was in the comic. I'm like, all right, let that shit just fucking please. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This fuck, man. That's about as close as a rant as you'll get out of me out of that shit. But so yeah, the strike. I mean, we got plenty of movies to catch up on. There's shit I haven't seen, shit you haven't seen. Everybody on here, even if they spent their whole fucking life watching movies 2 or 3 a day, you have tons of movies left that you have not.
Tons. Yep.
Shit, man. I mean, what else we got going now? We did Clown Mask.
We did
John Wick 4. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Wait, let's not leave John Wick 4. Let's tie this back. What was up with the blind hitman? Dumbest idea.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hold on. I'm looking this up right now. Blind Hitman John Wick. That was like, there was no way I was taking that serious.
No, I know, and that's another thing too. It's just like, really, you're bringing in the blind guy, and he's gonna be so accurate. It would have been cool if they kept it with the sword. If he was just doing his fucking ninja stuff and blind stuff, and he was just killing people with a sword, but he would have been so taken out. The fact that they made him like a hard main character, and then of course the daughter, right? He has to go commit to killing John Wick so they don't kill his daughter. I'm just so sick of all of that.
You know, he could have been all of this without.
Yeah, that takes me right out.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on, let's run that back.
Yeah, because shit like that, I can't take this franchise seriously, and I couldn't since part one.
Right here.
Like, and it's almost like they don't see him crawling on the floor, so it's just.
Oh, this is just so stupid.
Realistically. And why are they using bow and arrows? I forgot about the bow and arrows.
Yeah, no, I'm not. You know, yo, from the very beginning. I'm gonna stop sharing that shit. From the very beginning. With I almost said Morgan Freeman. What's his face? Morpheus. Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
Coming out like quoting Shakespeare or some shit in homeless garb. Behold your king! I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna hate that. Literally, I'm gonna hate this fucking movie. Yeah,
yep. And sure enough.
Yeah. I think there was a couple of moments like that in movie history where I watched something, and I think it was like Batman v Superman was definitely one of those. I'm like, I sat down, I was excited, and I think no, it was Man of Steel. It was Man of Steel, right? So the opening credits of Man of Steel set. First off, if you don't know what you're watching, it sounds like porn.
Really? Oh, I don't remember that.
All right, first time watching. Let's say you're not even looking at the screen.
Yeah,
You
just
watch
the audio
dishes.
of it.
Yeah. Okay. There's your... Yeah, I'm like, what am I watching?
Right, this is porn.
She getting banged or what? Finally, you figure it out.
I forgot, right? I forgot how stupid this was, right? Was he banging it right there? Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. Yeah, I guess. And then if we find out, okay, they're giving birth. But
we definitely did not need this scene.
Yeah.
And even look, satanic imagery. Why? I forgot it was so dark. Why is it so? You got all this dark imagery.
Yeah, seriously.
What year was this?
This was 2013, sorry.
The way the world is now, even just this, even just the design of it, it just seems so like, yeah, even all that alien shit, just demonic more than like cool alien sci-fi.
Yeah.
I will find him!
And what we get, how does he what's his punishment? Poof. You are all black dildos. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Look at that.
Yeah, it's true. It's all I see now.
Straight up. Launch black dildos into space.
I'm gonna come.
This isn't hate
man, yeah, I don't even like the look of it. The acting is bad. The story is bad. Who likes that movie? If anybody is, please comment.
I've tried.
Yeah, you tried it for a long time.
No, and listen, there's still things I like about this movie. I
really see. Okay, you're still surprising me.
Yeah, there are. Okay, you know what?
There's nothing I like about that.
I will show you. I'll show you one. Hold on. I'll show you.
Did you like Kevin Costner as fucking Papa Kent?
No.
Took me right out.
Absolutely not.
Can I make one
Absolutely.
thing? We're gonna get back to Superman, but we were talking about Spider-Man. Do you like fucking what's her name as the new Aunt May? Marissa
Marissa
Tomei.
Tomei. All right. I'm gonna say two things. She's not really Aunt May. That's
Right.
one.
That's
But
for
two,
sure.
I didn't hate her in the movies. Like,
Wow.
she acted well. She did her thing. She did, she wasn't a whatever, but she's not Aunt May. Like, you needed,
No.
like, Susan, Sally Fields was even better Aunt May than the original. Well, actually, the original Sam Raimi Aunt May was perfect casting.
Yes, that's an Aunt May. That's an
Yeah.
Aunt May character actress, right?
Yeah, they should have gotten like Helen Mirren or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Meryl
even
Streep.
Helen Mirren, no, because Helen Mirren, I think, was in Caligula. And I just want to make the rule, like, if I've seen your tits as an actress, like Marissa Tomei, Helen Mirren, then no, you can't be Aunt May. If
When did
I've seen
Marissa
your
show her
tits, Helen Mirren, I think, was in Caligula.
No, Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei showed her tits a few times in The Wrestler when she was doing. Marissa Tomei was into those early 2000 like independent movies.
Shout out
where
to
even though
Damaris.
she was already an AA lister, right?
Yeah.
She was doing like The Wrestler, and she's a stripper in that. And then she did a film adaptation from a writer, Charles Bukowski. You know Bukowski. One of his novels, Factotum, was turned into a movie, and Marissa Tomei plays a stripper who's topless in that. So it's just like, if I've seen your tits, you can't be Aunt May.
You can't be Aunt May. Yeah. You can't be Lois Lane. You can't be
right. Can I go on record on that?
I think I second that actually. I think that's more than reasonable.
Right. Okay. So yeah, getting back to this Superman.
Yeah, no, all right. So the action in here, I think, is outstanding. That is pretty,
Yes.
I would have liked more and let me tell you something. The action, in a way, works against it, and I'm almost positive you're going to agree with me on this, because again, this was what. First off, I wasn't the only one who saw this. I was borderline offended by how unheroic Superman was. Like, I know people in the comments or whatever, people who watch this who like the movie are going to try to defend it. Oh, it was his first time wearing the suit. No, fuck you. First off, Superman underwent years of training, or supposed to go through years of training, with the Jor-El hologram, or the Krypton holograms in the Fortress of Solitude. Yeah. All right. Correct. Yeah, that's where he learned, first, and also he got his ethics from Jonathan Kent. We don't see any of that. In fact, Kevin Costner's Jonathan Kent. Maybe you should have let those school kids die in a box.
Right, yes. Like, really? That's the advice you have as Papa Kent? Yeah, and Kevin Costner casted in that role. That also was very distracting for me. Like he just was not a believable Papa Kent.
Yeah, no, his lines were. First off, most of the people's lines in here were horrible.
Yeah,
but I mean, there was a couple of cool moments. Again, it's not like every single line was trash, And again, like, this scene is awesome, right? And again, like,
visually,
right? And but again, like, when we compare it to Superman 2, when all chaos started happening in Metropolis, Superman's number one priority was to make sure none of the civilians got hurt.
Right.
That was his number one.
The people.
Right? Yeah. No, and anytime like they try to throw a bus at the civilians, he would make sure that no one would get hurt.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I would say I would have liked like this much intensity in the action, but look at this. That's like 7 people dead right there. 7 people just died.
Right? Yeah. Easy.
Right. But like, yeah, this is badass.
You are weak, son of Val. Unsure of yourself.
Oh shit.
Let me show you what a strong woman can do.
Just a man.
she's no Ursa.
No, she is no Ursa.
She's no
I'm
Ursa.
glad you said it because I didn't want to just keep piling on with this movie because I absolutely can. But yeah, you said it, man. Even this chick, like,
And it's not her fault. I think she would have been a great Ursa. I wish they would have had an Ursa and a Non in here, but she's actually Fioria, Fioria, some shit. That's her name in this. But it's like, why not just make Ursa again? Just give us
right. Even all that went over my head. Yeah, I'm not even buying. That's Ursa in my mind. That's a failed attempt at Ursa. I'm not even going to pay attention to whatever. Oh, it's not Ursa. It's just other badass chick. Yeah. And we're gonna have her do kung fu type moves. Like fuck you. I'm just over it. Just have her use her little eye power to set something on fire. You know what I mean? She's over there doing John Wick moves on Superman, and it's not even Ursa to begin with.
It's not even Ursa, but at least she's a kryptonite. She's a Kryptonian. I'm sorry, she's a Kryptonian. This is badass. This is badass. Like the way this was coordinated. He tried to fly away, grabs him by his cape.
Doesn't hold up. Yeah, I think the CGI looks mad silly.
Looks like CGI.
Yeah. But if I'm taking that out, right? If I take that lens off of it, then yeah, the action is still cool.
Yeah,
easily, right?
Right. It's finally he saves a civilian. It's like after that, right? And then and of course this was just straight up. There was one scene in here that was absolutely like. Oh yeah, when Clark Kent destroys all the clones of Krypton, all the eggs on Zod's ship. He's like, Krypton's had that. And then he just destroys all the eggs. I'm like, bro, what are you?
Wow, I this movie is so bad. I didn't even remember that part too. But yeah, how out of character.
Yeah, he would not have done that. And in fact, I don't know. How do I phrase this properly? The fact that they need Earth is retarded. Don't tell me there's galaxies with gajillions of Earth-like planets all around us, but they have to have Earth, even though Krypton's forever in a fucking, it took Superman, 3-4 years in the pod to arrive?
Yeah, just to arrive. Yeah.
But to tell me that there's no other Earth, well, there clearly is, especially in that comic book universe. There's lanterns patrolling planets literally as we speak in this universe. So don't tell me that there's no fucking, there's no other Earth planets that they can thrive on. They can literally go to Mars and be fine.
Right. Yes. That always bothered me too.
Yeah. So there's no need that they have to have Earth, to make this happen. It was so dumb.
So dumb. Yeah, because even in if you want to go back to Donner's Superman 2, they're in space just fine. They you know what I mean? It's like they were on the moon with no oxygen tanks or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's like, so what is their problem?
No, you're 100% right. And they definitely dropped the ball with this movie, unfortunately. And it's funny too because this is again, I go back to this the trailer for it. The trailer for it had me so amped up. But again, we ended up getting almost, look at this. This movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It was almost a 2 hour and 20 minute trailer. Like scenes that don't really go.
Way too long.
Yeah, I may have played this on the show just in case I haven't.
Yeah, play it again. I'll put on this movie all day. Yeah, when you see this, you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
I have journeyed across
did he just
an ocean of stars to reach you. Your world has sheltered one of my citizens. He will look like you, but he is not one of you. To those of you who know of his location, the fate of your planet rests in your hands. To
Even
Kal-El,
the
I
ship, I
say
hate
this.
to look at that crab-looking ship.
Surrender within 24 hours, or watch this world suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
Sounds like Vader's thing right there.
This trailer told me a different movie.
That's true.
You are
Yeah, let
not
me stay on
worthy.
topic. The
Whoever
trailer
you
does
will
still a
save,
different type of movie.
we will kill 1,000,000 more.
I won't betray them. You already have.
That trailer is awesome.
Yeah, it's a good trailer. Bad
Yeah,
movie.
it's a bad movie.
And
Again,
even
like,
though,
go on.
go ahead.
I was going to say that this movie was supposed to. I mean, the trailer makes it look like it's the planet turning on Superman to spare its self-destruction from Zod, and you know,
Yeah.
obviously Superman's walk is operating in secret. The world doesn't know him as Superman, so they just perceive him as an alien threat.
Because right after the trailer, we both started speaking. I was just going to say the same thing, but you said it better because I was like, I didn't even know what I was going to say. Was it doesn't even really tell you where this is going to go. And then you said mishmash. I was like, yes, that's perfect. It is a mishmash even of a trailer. You know what I mean? Because even when I first saw the trailer back then, I remember thinking like, where does this movie look already? Just looks all over the place. You know,
Where's this monster come from? What?
Yeah, exactly right. A real quick glimpse of Godzilla, and then you're like, what? Because that's what it looks like up close, right?
Yeah.
And then I was just like, oh shit, so there's monsters, and I was like, is that a whole alien invasion? I get that that's Zod. I get that's supposed to be Zira, and especially from the trailer, everyone thinks that's fucking right. The chick.
Ursa? Yeah.
That's what I meant.
No, sure.
Everybody thought that from the trailer too, right? So
Yeah.
it's so confusing, such a mishmash, and then sure enough, what is delivered is definitely fucking a mess.
When's the last time you saw the Richard Donner, the Superman movie, the original?
Not too long ago, because when I was sick, I just in bed all week or whatever, and I was watching all that shit. So I watched '89 Batman. I was watching,
and we watched part 3 together, kind of before Hate Watch.
Right,
Which,
before we were doing this.
Yo, they need to lay off that movie. I mean, like a lot of people shit on that movie, and it is not it is not this disaster piece. Superman 3 was better than Man of Steel.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will die on that hill, you know?
Yep.
Maybe Man of Steel had better action, I'll say, or whatever. Okay, or better effects. Okay, I'll give you that, maybe.
If you're going on the technology of the day, you know, and that's almost not fair to do because of the leaps and bounds the CGI has gotten to by the
Superman 3
terms.
Yeah. For Superman 3, you've got, you know,
right.
I'm sorry, far more entertaining story and far more silly and comic booky, but still somewhat entertaining. People didn't care for Richard Pryor. I didn't hate him. I thought he was fine. I get maybe Superman should have been a little bit more, a little less Richard Pryor would have been better. Maybe. Okay.
Absolutely. For sure.
And it should have been Gene Hackman again instead of like this stand-in, but I don't think they could have gotten, they couldn't get Gene Hackman in for the third one.
Yeah,
so
that would have been a shame. That would have been huge, right? Gene Hackman coming back changes that entirely. Like you said, less Richard Pryor,
a little less
Superman, you know, right?
Yeah.
And I like how it was the Richard Pryor who was the computer genius who makes the fake kryptonite. Like that was a good little angle, you know what I mean? But it should have been Gene Hackman. Get rid of that sister character, you know what I mean? Right?
He ends up turning into not Bizarro, Brainiac at the end.
Chick. Right, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that at the time because the only Superman I knew
came out.
Yeah, but apparently that's supposedly Brainiac. I'm like, oh shit, that makes sense. I mean, obviously it's not
Brainiac because it's the sister.
Yeah, it's because it's the sister, but it's melded with that computer.
Right.
Computer system is what's Brainiac. That's the thing.
Cool.
That's but it's just they never use the name, you know. And I think what is it? Because it's really. I always thought this was clever. I don't know that much about Superman comic book lore, so it's like people in the comments correct me, have fun.
And even still, right? Even back then, when that movie came out, I was only 8, 9 years old, wherever it was.
It was
So I
Superman
only
1 and
knew,
2.
right? All you know is from the Superman movies, right? I'm not even
Yeah.
reading, anything past Dr. Seuss, let alone comic books or
Right.
whatever it is that little kids. You know what I mean?
Sure,
It's like, yeah,
sure.
you don't know all the Superman lore at 8, 9 years old when that movie came out. I even feel like that was even earlier, like 86 or something.
Maybe. I think you're right, actually. I remember my grandfather taping those for me, and I used to just watch all, like, 1, 2, and 3 especially. Like, those
Yeah, me too.
those
Of
were
course.
constant. Those are great series, and like I loved every one of them, like for different reasons. You want your serious, let me tell you, you want your serious drama where you have moments that will bring you to tears. You watch the first one. Jonathan Kent passing out of a heart attack, or dying of a heart attack rather, and then
Right.
Superman standing there, all those powers, and I couldn't even save him. Dude, I'm almost tearing up now just thinking about it. You guys got it. Like, that was such a beautiful moment. There's a lot of moments in there that are really just cinematic, like, or like Oscar worthy. I don't know, like, I don't know how to tell you.
Exactly. Yeah, real heartfelt movie moments.
Yeah, there's some silliness, but whatever. For the most part, it's like they took this so serious. And one of the best things that we ever got from movies is the Superman movie. That's like one of the best, like best gifts that Hollywood ever gave us.
Absolutely.
But yeah, then if compared to Man of Steel, you're not getting that heart, man. You're getting like the action. You're getting the intensity. Like, you do get a scale of his power. I mean, again, a lot of these the older movies were limited by the technology of their time, so you couldn't get like realistic CG. You couldn't get more believable effects. But working with what they had, man, I mean, a lot of that stuff's still convincing. Like, still, even besides that, I mean, some of the acting's a little clunky. Okay.
Yes, but only, like you said, only at times, only in certain moments.
And it's by that time, there's a point when a movie is so good, the little shit really does just roll off your back.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there are other times when the movie is just bad, every little thing just keeps piling on. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like,
I can't get past, right?
Yeah. But I guess moral of the story is it's the original Superman movie. That's the way to go.
Great shit.
That's the way to go. Better than Man of Steel. That's a big takeaway from the Camp Chicken podcast, where we started with the clown mask.
Prior, right? It was still better than
yeah, right. The one with Richard Pryor, I think is better than that. Hell, I have to rewatch 4 because I only watched it once, and even as a kid, I was like, it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked 4 as a kid. 4, like, as an adult, no, it definitely doesn't hold up as a movie. Do I still have the little kid in me watching Superman 4? Yes. So, but if I had to be honest about it, Superman 4 is a bad movie. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Unfortunately.
So we'll end on this. We'll end on this because we've been going for about almost a little less than an hour because I had to cut out a lot of shit. But I think you're gonna like this here. This is for Hate Watch. I made this little chart here.
Oh, what do you got?
So here's our new rating system.
Nice.
In a nutshell, right?
That's cool. Yeah.
So let's take it for test drive. Actually, let's do this is a test. So because we did not watch the original Superman. Okay.
Yeah.
The Superman movie, right? So I can just change that here. All right, we'll share these at the end of each episode for anyone who gives a shit. Cinematography and the visuals for Superman the movie. What would you
The-
rate it 1 out of 10? The original. Yeah. It's Christopher
You
Reeve.
know what? We're too jaded for that. Let's rate this one that we just saw the trailer for. We both saw this movie, right?
Oh, you want to do Man of Steel instead?
Let's rate Man of Steel.
Okay, Man of Steel. Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, we'll do Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Let's start with cinematography here. 1 to 10, and visual effects and things like that. The look of the movie. 1 to 10, what would you give Man of Steel?
Okay. And since on the last episode you explained to me your rating scale. So visually in this movie,
Visually
which I
only.
do feel like the CGI is a little wonky, I would give it like a 5. 5 out of 10.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
5, I would give it a 7. But we're not that far off, so that's that makes sense. Okay,
and that's only because even then the CGI is so different from now that I could see the CGI in that all over the place, and it just looks a little cartoonish.
Looks a little cartoonish.
I'd rather have less effects, and better acting to sell a scene personally. But okay, if we're gonna do the action scene, it's definitely a good 5 out of 10.
Yeah, all right. I think that's more than it's average. That's actually more than fair. All right, now the music, the score, the soundtrack, sound design, sound editing, strictly just this. What would you give Man of Steel?
I would say like a 3 or a 4. I'll be kind because it's 4 because I do remember the music did fit the action. I do feel like the music did help push it. So I'll give it a strong 4, but at the same time, I didn't think there was anything memorable. And just watching the trailer now again, I really feel like they took – I was getting the vibe of the Vader song, the Stormtroopers theme or whatever it's called from Star Wars.
A little bit.
Yeah, there was a little phrasing in there where it was just like, all right, you're clearly taking from Star Wars to make Zod like more menacing, like that's his theme and it's dark. So I was like, I'm only giving it a 4 out of 10, not to ramble.
Okay, cool. All right, so I gave it an 8. I personally think the music was better than the special effects. It's Hans Zimmer. There's a lot of cool. In fact, I own
I do like Hans Zimmer. Yeah.
So I gave it an 8, and also like just all the hit effects, all the other sound in there, all of the sound I thought was done very, very well.
Okay, cool. And you definitely know the movie better than I do too.
Well, because I rewatch shit that I have no business rewatching.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, so yeah. All right,
but that was a good refresher. So yeah, the music, I feel like it was biting off Star Wars there a little bit, and almost like on purpose.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't want to disagree because I'm thinking about it and I was like, it does kind of have that Darth Vader-y Imperial March. Like the more I think about it, actually. But it's like if I hear that theme anywhere, I know it's the Man of Steel thing. So I give credit for that, Acting, dialogue. What would you give this? 1 out of 10.
I'll say a 2. Because I really felt, especially Zod, he overacted. I felt like the performances were bad. I think Kevin Costner hammed it up. I feel like whoever the guy who plays Superman, whatever his name is, he was
great.
Oh, I feel like he would have been better if the dialogue was better, if the script was better.
Yeah.
So I'll give it like a 2.
I'm with you.
I'll give it a 3.
You give it a 3? I'm
because you're
saying
combining the dialogue and the acting. Right?
Yeah, acting and dialogue. Yeah.
I'll give them like a 1.5 each.
Okay. All right. No, fair enough. I'm gonna say it too. I absolutely hated like any moment that tried to extract any emotion out of me. Did not work. Landed dead flat.
You know what? I'm going with a solid 2 myself. I agree with you. You're right, because once you said that, once you talked about the emotional scenes that were supposed to hit a certain way, they didn't with me either.
There was a scene with Diane Lane as Martha Kent, who has to go pick up Henry Cavill at school because he locked himself in a closet, which I thought was stupid as hell.
That dumb scene, yeah.
And she has a line in there. She's like, "Close your eyes" or some shit like that. He goes. He said, "The world is too big." He goes, "Then make it smaller." That's what? I was like, yeah, I was like, oh, my eyes just fucking looked at the front of my brain. It was, it was like, I was so like, ugh, like I got nothing out of that. There was like no scene like that where it drew out emotion. The original, even Batman Begins, 1, 2, and Dark Knight, all of those have emotional beats to it that are successful. Superman, the movie, the Christopher Reeve, has emotional beats that are extremely successful. There are moments in there. There's a scene when Christopher Reeve, you could tell he wants to tell, where Clark Kent wants to reveal himself as Superman. And he's like, there's something I have to tell you. And that's all he says. And then you just see his face and his stature change. And you could see everything. You get everything you need to know from his motion there, where he's just basically like, I can't tell her. I'm disappointed. He puts his glasses back on. And he's like, yeah, we're going to be late. Or, whatever. He gets back into his Clark Kent character. And it's a powerful moment. I was like, damn, I feel you. I was like, I wish he could just tell her. You know what I mean? He just chooses not to. All right. Now,
great acting, right?
Great acting, minimal dialogue. It's all, it's all looking at it, right? So now let's go to likability. Now, likability is 0 to 10. If you fucking hate this movie and want to give it a 0-0, but listen, that means there is absolutely nothing redeeming about this movie. It's your call. But what would you say, 0 out of 10?
I'm going to give it a 1.
Wow. I finally give you the 0. You're just going to stay. Oh, God.
No,
okay, so,
because I'm not just going to abuse that 0.
You're not going to abuse the 0.
I'm not going to abuse the 0. I do feel like there are at least a few moments in there just because it was like a new thing. It was like the newest Superman since that really bad one. You know what I mean? So there was some hype behind it. I like that it wasn't like that Superman Return ones. Like that one to me was awful.
Yeah. Oh, so no, I like that one. I know you did. I like that one. I like that one more than Man of Steel also.
Wow. I'm the opposite. I like this one more than that one, so therefore it gets 1 out of 10.
Man of Steel is better than Superman Returns?
I think so.
Blasphemy. But you know what? Actually, no, it's not really. It's
wrong.
I gotta get that on. I gotta get a sample of that. All right, so
Man of Steel, where they tried to make Lois the pregnant or whatever, like that was Superman's. The whole thing. I can't even get the words out. They were trying to imply that was their baby.
Oh, the Superman Returns.
Yes,
the kid.
Returns. Yes, with the kid and everything. And again, that guy in that movie, that Superman, he wasn't a man. It was like watching a kid fresh out of college play Superman.
Superboy. It's Superboy Part 7.
Superboy Returns,
where
some kind of story.
He's too old to play Superboy, but not quite there yet for Man of Steel.
Yeah.
But, so I would have
same thing. Sorry, let me just say for that movie too. That actress again, like I don't feel like she was like a woman. I just want to see adults, in these parts. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's like 22 and she's like fucking head journalist. Like, all right, come on.
Yeah, exactly. And a single mom and holding it down, right? And she, the baby's daddy is might be Superman. Like, and it clearly when the kid moves the thing, it's Superman, right? So they're not even trying to be subtle at that point. You know what I mean? Like, no, she fucked Clark Kent in the time he took his powers away for that brief moment, right? And then I guess
how selfish of her.
He leaves, and now she's a single mom. It's like I was like, I didn't need any of that. That movie might get a 0 from me.
Out of likability? Yeah, well,
yeah.
As far as no, I dug it. I think Superman was not as good as Henry Cavill. The Brandon Routh was not as good as Henry Cavill, but Kate Bosworth, I liked her more than I liked the Amy Adams Lois Lane out of Man of Steel. I did not like that portrayal of Lois Lane at all.
You're right. Hated it. Yep.
Yeah. So,
and that was done on purpose too. Didn't they even make her a redhead or some shit? Right?
No. Oh, and Amy Adams is a redhead. Kate Bosworth, at least they kept her features like black,
Yeah.
brunette with smoker, right? Trying to quit, all that shit. At least they kept some of those things in there. Now, so if we tally up, I even have it does the average force automatically.
Nah.
So I would give the Man of Steel a 5.5 out of 10, which is actually still a failing grade, but fairly above average. Yours is a 3.
Right, good. That's
Does
about
that
right.
sound right?
Yeah, on an average.
I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy.
I'm not crazy. Okay.
You're not
I
crazy.
think this is a good rating system.
Yeah, the system works.
You like it? Okay.
I do.
All right. So we're gonna have to break this sucker in for the next hate watch. But we'll guys, hit like and subscribe especially if you made it this far and dug the Superman talk. And God bless you all. We will see you next week. Until then, stay safe and God bless. Goodbye.
Peace.